Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. We will try to finish our hydrogen tamer here, but it's working. It's just not. We haven't reached the point where this is turning into steam yet, and it's coming really soon because this is already like 93 degrees. But I do want to get as much of this like loose gas pumped out of here as possible. Not really sure where it's coming from or if it's just this just never finished siphoning it all out, but we'll see. We'll give it some more time to run while we wait. Let's go ahead and take a look down here because this starts up again in 18 cycles. We do want to make sure to get this walled off entirely here. Hopefully this gets done pretty soon. Let's start with I don't know which. Well, if they're coming in from this side, then we probably should have prioritized getting that one done first. But that's all right. I think even just having this here is gonna be enough. And then let's go ahead and build the last of these tiles just to be done with it. Okay, we're still working on getting the water flowing out of here. It looks like that is our current issue. I don't know why it says that's unreachable. The last piece that needs to be built. Oh, it's unreachable because there's no oxygen in here. Okay. So we could just turn this off for now. And that would let people run through without a suit just to finish getting this built. And I think I am going to do that. Because I do want to get this stuff out of here. Speaking of oxygen, let's look at our actual oxygen production. So it is still flowing through here pretty well in general. It's just that we've been using a lot of it lately. And it's just used up all the resources. So, all right, well, at least this is, they can get through here and do what they need to do. Get this all cleaned out as much as possible anyway. Let's go ahead and sweep this stuff just to get it out the rest of the way. Did they climb down there on their own? I'm not sure. I'm hoping they were coming back up from here. I want this to be the only path through. Although this is running low on oxygen too, so only two dupes at a time can come down here until that runs out of oxygen as well. So we're doing all right here. This is done pumping for the time being, but we did manage to get, I think, at least some over here. Yeah, we did. It has a ton of polluted water with a lot of germs, so we are going to have to find a way to sanitize that, but at least they are producing some food now, and they're not at immediate risk of starvation. We were also beginning the process of getting this all built out over here. So hopefully they make some progress on this relatively soon so we can get it all the gas pumped out and everything working pretty well over there. Really want to get everything kind of converted over at some point soon. Well, and we have no oxygen being produced at the moment because this is not actually running. So we should definitely increase the priority of all this stuff because it's kind of crucial to getting this environment completely up and running. And we want to do that before they completely run out of air, because that would be a very bad thing. So let's let that do its thing. How is this going over here? We're not currently doing anything in space. Let's look at the new printables and see what's available. I don't need any other dupes for now, so I'll just take some shine nymphs. That's fine. We are almost to a point where we're full up on the right type of critters again. So that should help with the food, particularly the barbecue, as this starts to, although this reservoir is getting pretty low. Where's this getting fed in from? Looks like predominantly up here, but this is getting pumped from... Oh, this is pumping up to here. Where's the actual water coming from? Looks like mostly here, which was coming down to here and pulling the water up from here. So looks like we are actually running a little low on water at the moment. And I think that's likely a result of this being dormant, although this kicks back on relatively soon. So that should solve our issue with the temperature cooling down over here. And we could always convert more of this water to regular water. And actually probably should get on that relatively soon. All this polluted water down here, we definitely should start tapping into that a little bit. So let's... I guess let's do that. Let's bring this pipe down. And I am going to run along here. I'm not going to put it here, although I probably should just get rid of it. I'm going to run the pipe all the way down to here. Just so we got water pumping out from the very bottom. I know that's kind of a wonky path, but I don't want to build another ladder through here and let that all out. Let's take a look at the wire situation over here. Okay, so we got heavy wire coming here. We are running low on copper, so I have to be a little more mindful of the wiring that we're using. Let's put a power transformer over here. We could just slap it here, that's fine. Do a little heavy watt wire there. And we could just run some standard wire. I'm going to do gold amalgam just to use up some of that resource because I have more of it. We definitely have to get to another planetoid where we can start taking out the in particular trying to find like a metal volcano, because we are definitely running into some problems there. All right, so we're yeah, this seems to be... Oh, overheat. Okay, so that's where all this gas is coming from. I was wondering where it was coming from. It's just overheat damage, which is a problem. So how is it overheating? All right, I'm going to deconstruct all three of these. We'll rebuild it with either steel or gold amalgam just to stop the overheating. But at least now I know where that's coming from. That's a lot of buildings lack resources messages, and I don't like that. So let's try to figure out what we need to do to remedy that. There's sure to be at least some stuff on this map still. There is. So let's go ahead and kind of lower priority, but we'll go ahead and get scaffolding built out here. I'm gonna go ahead and just put a ladder. Goes most of the way down. Let's see, it's 4. 4. All right, we'll cancel that. Let's just dig all this stuff out. This is lower priority. I'm certainly not in a rush to do any of this, but this will open up some copper, and we do kind of need that, so I think that's fine to do. Let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure we're connecting the ladders and getting things to the right level here. Okay, we should be able to get most of that cleared out. That'll free up some resources, hopefully. We stopped growing sleet wheat because we are out of... Okay, irrigation is the problem. So we're out of water. Oh, because this isn't low enough. I see. All right, well, hopefully when this finishes getting built out, that'll resolve that issue. But for the time being, I suppose we could build a copy and just have it down lower. Well, let's deconstruct it first, and we'll move it down. At least it's still deep enough for the hatchlings to drown. All right, let's do that to get that as low as possible. That should remedy some of these lack resources messages. I do want the priority of this to be a little bit on the higher side, so let's go ahead and just mark it up a little bit here. And then let's pop over to our other planetoid where oxygen is becoming a premium and see how that's coming along. They certainly are taking their time. We got to get something up and running here, though. Is there any algae on this map? No. No? Apparently not. So I can't do anything with that. I could... I don't know. I have a little bit of regular water. I guess we just let this run for now. I can't because there's no power. Well, there is power. It's just there's not... What is making this not happen? That's a lot of radiation messages I'm getting. I'm very very concerned about some of the stuff I am seeing going on here. All right, well, at least this water's moving now, so that means the mealwood is starting to grow again, which means these Drecos should not be dying, at least anywhere near as much as they were. So I think we're good on the Dreco farm part. At least that's kind of taken care of for the time being. No power transformer because of the it's underwater. All right, so we might have to open this up for a minute and just let that water drain out. That'll kind of suck because that means it'll break the vacuum and this will have to start pumping again. But I think we're gonna, or let's not do that. And let's just dig this out a little bit. And that'll give the water a place to flow. And then we don't have to break the vacuum. So I think that'll work just fine for the time being. Yeah, let's go that route for now. I think that's probably a safer bet. All right, so they are digging over here, which is perfectly fine. We'll indicate to, you know, clean up some of the stuff, but not much of a point to that. They'll go over and moved out anyway. Let's hop to the other planetoid where we are a little bit low on the breathing. Hopefully they get this put together a little bit sooner than later because they kind of desperately need oxygen. So let's go ahead and get the electrolyzers up and running. Even if they're not producing any air at the moment, or I want them to produce air, but even if we're not like capturing the hydrogen and just letting it go with the rest of this stuff, that at least we'll get some oxygen going. So we'll go ahead and build the gas pump here. We can worry about the automation a little bit later. go ahead and pause it just so we don't run out the clock a little bit too aggressively. We'll go ahead and put some atmo sensor there. And I think I want to be using lead for this. I should have been using lead for all of that stuff. I don't need the automation wire here. Let's go ahead, plumbing wise. We do want the regular water, which is coming from here, or at least for the time being coming from here. We do want that to go up to here and go into all those things. So it's important to get that built for sure. We need power, which means we also need a power transformer. Even if this is just temporary for now, I ultimately want to do something a little cleaner than this, but I do want to get this up and running like as fast as possible. Because we need this priority 9. At least this can start, even with the current setup, it could just start doing this and producing oxygen. So I think that's important to do. Let's go ahead and set this to priority like 7-ish, just to get that all going. And then let's pop back to our other planetoid and take a look at what we got going on here, particularly with the hydrogen setup over here. So let's go ahead and look at the power. We wanted to do hydrogen generators. I mean, this would sustain a lot more heat. So it uses a lot of steel, but that's all right. That's what the end game's for, right? All right, so this is steam. Just not quite hot enough yet. I was kind of hoping the steam would push this hydrogen out, but it doesn't seem to have actually done that yet. We'll see what happens. We did also build this up. We probably should come down here and connect all this as well, just to make sure we're getting everything captured that we need to get captured. Because as of right now, let's cancel that. Don't need that. As of right now, this has nowhere to pump, so it's just kind of filling up here. We probably should, I mean, none of this is going to overheat, I don't think, so it's fine. But probably should wait on, it's fine. We can let that be. And hopefully this hydrogen gets pumped out of here entirely. We are coming up on 13 cycles left before this starts rolling. This isn't the prettiest thing, but at least this should stop the magma from flowing back in this direction, and it'll hopefully just go in this direction, and then we get the all this polluted water and everything it'll go to steam and turn into regular water, so I'm not too worried about the fact that it's like a mixed blend of fluids at the moment. Hopefully when this gets dug out, this water will drain, and then this is able to kind of be finished up. I do want to set the priority a little bit higher on this just to get the water pumping here. We do need to get another ladder going down here because they can't quite reach all that stuff down there. So we'll get that set. And what else do we have to do before we kind of lose our minds here? Nothing. I think that we just gotta kind of wait for them to do all that stuff. We have a whole bunch of stuff indicated to get dug out over here. This did get moved, so they are draining water, but we are running really low on water, so I do want to get a little more aggressive about getting this done as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, I am going to increase the priority getting this dug out over that, just to make sure we have that going. Over here, we are desperately running out of oxygen. We do have the power hook back up, I think. It looks to be, yes. So the question is now, why is this? Oh, it is pumping. Okay. This is just at max gas pressure. So there is oxygen being produced here. So at least there's somewhere they can go and breathe, which is good. Hopefully they finish up the rest of this sooner than later. Let's go ahead and look at the new printables that are available. I will take a wart seed on this planetoid. That will just give me some opportunities to cool some stuff down. And I certainly do not mind that at all. I don't know what's breaking over here that keeps dripping water, but we'll have to address that at some point. Is the gas trapped here? I don't think it is. But there is a lot of hydrogen just kind of loose down here, probably from deconstructing these units originally. So this is not running right now, but that's because it doesn't need power at the moment. So we'll have to see how that goes. The gas pressure here is not maxed out, so this can still freely let gas out of the system, which is perfectly fine. It is slowly, the temperature is slowly rising. So once it gets to 125, this should start to be able to pull it in and start deleting some of the heat and converting just a small amount of that to energy. So that should work just fine. Down here, we're still making some progress. It has not drained out as much of the liquid as I had hoped yet, but maybe once they get that dug all the way out, it'll be in a better condition. We got 12 cycles before we figure out what exactly happens with this volcano here. Looks like our water is about to be hooked back up, so I am, eagerly awaiting that. Still hasn't quite gotten rid of all this water. Looks like there's more than I had initially anticipated over here. So let's up the priority of this a little bit. Just try to make sure we're getting this all dug out. Might have to dig out a layer here as well, just to break that seal there. Go ahead and do that. That should provide enough incentive for the rest of this to fall down. Hopefully. Want to dig out that little bit as well. So let's go ahead and up the priority of that. Can they make this leap? I think he can. There we go. That's perfectly fine. I don't mind that it doesn't see power consumers. This isn't hooked up yet, so hopefully this will be done sooner than later. Set that to priority 9, get that going. All right, so we got steam slowly working its way up here. I'm assuming these turned on, but I didn't quite see it. The amount of hydrogen is going down. Looks like 1700 now. It's gonna take a little while to clear it all out, but that should resolve this issue in the system here. I'm hoping once this hydrogen comes out, I can just seal this off, and this will just be steam coming through here. That is the hope. We'll see what actually happens. There is some breathable air here, so I'm not as concerned about them taking as long as they are on this this hydrogen or this oxygen generator, but I would like it done sooner than later. At least food does not appear to be as much of an issue over here anymore, but time will tell. They're slowly but surely getting this all built out. The good news is even though it's filled with hydrogen, all we have to do is vent it all out here. We just need the pipes to exit. We could always go back and adjust where they go to later. That plug slug needs to get out of there, though. I don't know why it's there. We also need to wire it with conductive wire. The good thing is we have a lot of lead, and that should be sufficient for this. So we can do something like this where we can just have a, well, I did kind of want to align it to this, but of course I had to build everything just a little bit wonky. So 4 tiles up. This would be 5 tiles up. Well, it'll have to be what it'll be for the time being. We'll have to go back and work on that later. Or maybe this side will just be offset by a little bit. We'll see. Plenty of polluted oxygen, which is breathable. It just runs the risk of them getting sick, which is just something we're going to have to deal with for the time being. We do have this nice little pocket of oxygen, so not as concerned about this at the moment. Let's go ahead and pop back over here. Do we have water flowing in here yet? We do. Well, we do. It's starting. Looks like it just kicked on. So here's our first batch of plain water getting pumped out of the system and then getting dumped into here. So this is activating our desalinator and our water sieve for the first time in a long time. That will consume more power than we've been consuming lately, but I think that's perfectly acceptable. Breathability has really gone down a lot. I'm not exactly sure why. It still looks pretty good on this end. So I guess I shouldn't be too concerned about it, but it's something I guess we'll keep an eye on. Yeah. So this will just pump all this water up there. And that should be all right. Do we have a better... I mean, we have this, right? So this is producing water, but we're not having it drain currently. So we'll probably have to set up some sort of system to drain the water out of here after it uses up its heat over here. And we do have some ice, so this at least does give some liquid as it melts. But that's why the breathability is going down. All this new exposed area needs oxygen to be brought to it. All right, so not too bad. We are definitely running out of resources though. Like we're getting out of metal and everything. So I should probably put on some barbecue here. It's on 9, so somebody should bring stuff to this, but they're not currently. Oh, is the other stuff set to 9? Maybe that's part of the problem. They're all set to the same, and... Alright, let's change these to 8. That way, the slightly higher priority one is on the rocket ship. Hopefully that means they will bring the stuff up. These are all stopped due to body temperature, so let's take a look at that. That is definitely impacting our food supply, which is another short-term crisis that'll have to be resolved. So where is the water that is supposed to be? Okay, so nothing is escaping this system here. It's just sitting stagnant. So I need to deconstruct this. So that stuff has to go through this pipe first. The only downside to that is that it will heat up coming through here before even making it over to this one. So that is a little problematic. I'll have to find another way to fix that. This whole piping is all a mess. I'm really gonna have to fix all of it at some point. But that's all right. At least these are coming back to life, and it should help get our food supply in order. We did just probably lose a bunch of food up to here. It's only 6.5 kilograms. That's not a lot. Let's go ahead and It's good enough for now. I just want to launch the ship and try to get more going. So let's go ahead and... Where's the launch checklist? Destination set. So we need to set the destination. It could just be there for now. Okay. Begin launch sequence. Get the crew in there. Let him take off and start doing his space thing. Okay. Let's take the suit off. You have plenty of oxygen, you got some food. Should be good to go for at least a little while. Let him do his thing for now. All right, we are getting all this stuff hooked up. Certainly taking its sweet time, but it at least is happening. I don't think this plug slug's gonna come out of here though. He kind of, I think, found a new home here and doesn't want to leave. We'll have to figure something out there. All right, let's come back over here. Scalding is not good. Oh, that's the steam from here. Okay. So we need to get that in there as fast as possible. That did drive out all the hydrogen, which is good. It just put a lot more steam into the system than I wanted it to. That's all right. We can work with that. Get it built, and then we'll be okay. Hopefully. Get it built. There you go. All right. This can cool down. We can mop it up. This is all a solvable problem. All right. Look at this. Let's get some glass printed. It's certainly not going to hurt anything. All right. So I think we're in a pretty good spot, except for the food. That's really going to become an issue very, very, very shortly. But we are back into relatively full supply of our critter barbecue production here. That's the problem. They're not dying because there's not enough water in here. So once there's enough water in here, it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and just attack these for now, just to get the barbecue out of them. And I think we could even get ahead of the game a little bit by getting rid of some of these pips and maybe some of these Drecos as well. Don't need the wild ones roaming around. They're not providing any benefit to us at all. I don't really need to do anything with the Pacus right now, but it's good to know if we get super, super desperate, we have those available to us. All right, these guys are still serving their purpose, which is just to delete all the excess carbon dioxide. They're being fed pretty much just enough to not die, which is fine. That's meeting the need. Hopefully this water will eventually fill back up to the point that there's a benefit. You know, it gets up to the point where these things are drowning on their own, but it has not happened yet. Do not mop all of that up. No, I do not want that. Okay. This will be a problem because this will all condense and then this battery will be underwater. So I'm going to have to kind of sort that out at some point as well. All right. You just need to get out of here. You're injured and you're just making things worse. No. Okay, somebody's got to rescue this dupe and get it to the hospital. The question is, do I have... Yeah, I do have a hospital. Okay. Is somebody taking care of that dupe? Yes. Okay, good. A little worried there that they were just gonna leave that dupe to rot. Okay, so this is still 11 kilograms of steam, which is still a fairly large amount, so I think it'll be okay. And the temperature is getting pretty close to the point where it'll start doing something here, so I'm hoping we see this kick on relatively soon, but time will tell. This steam will slowly cool down as things kind of get I'm surprised this overheated. 275 is a pretty high temperature. It is what it is. All right, so this water is definitely filling up at this point. These guys are going to drown on their own now, which is good. Everything seems to be working perfectly fine here. We did get some food available in the form of barbecue, so we're definitely kind of working around that problem. I'm really yeah, the temperature's coming back now. Okay, so we are seeing the pinch of pepper plants producing again. We should be seeing the sleet wheat again. Yeah. So that should longer term solve the food problem. It's just taking a long time to make that happen. I'm surprised this is filled up to the point where it's like dripping, but it is what it is. All right, so this, yeah, here we go. Okay, so the steam is running. It's producing a small amount of electricity, but more importantly, it's deleting the heat, which is the primary purpose of this, is just to remove some of that heat from the steam, bring it from 125 back down to 100, and then drip the water back down, which will then just draw more heat off in a continuous cycle over and over again. We should be able to kind of mop this up now as well. So this is working as intended. Might be taking a little bit, but it is working. All right, they are scalding, which is not good. But maybe if they get it mopped up quick enough, we don't have to worry too much about it. There's still steam in the air. That's pretty cold steam, though. I'm surprised it's still hanging out. I know it's precipitating out, but it's still a little surprising. Okay, so that's working more or less as intended. This is 8 more cycles till this kicks on. I probably should, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have walled this up entirely because I still need to get in there, and I don't want to open this up because it'll let all the air in. So I guess let's go ahead and deconstruct 2 layers of this. We really only need enough to stop the magma from backflowing in this direction. So we'll go ahead and deconstruct that, and then we'll build up some insulated tile here. I feel like we gotta fix this first, though. I didn't really wanna. Feel like that's still gotta be there. Yeah, because it lets some oxygen in. That's fine. So how are we gonna handle the power situation here? Maybe come around the other side here and hook in here. That's what I'm thinking right now. Let's go ahead and deconstruct that, and then on the power side, we'll do a heavy wad joint plate. We have a lot more copper available now. Not that it's perfect, but we can at least, let's come up in this direction. Look in here, we can get rid of this. The problem we have with getting rid of this is we have to make sure we're kind of careful on how we do it, because I don't want to, once this pumps back out, I don't want to lose the vacuum again. And if I take this out, all the water's going to fall through and we're going to lose the vacuum. So I guess let's get that wired up first, and we'll kind of go from there. All right. How is our spaceman going? He's still breathing, which is good. Databanks 47. It's good. Let's go to our other planetoid and take a look at that. Okay, we are more or less to the point we need to be with this. I need to set up a power transformer here. Well, I kind of need to deconstruct all these ladders and get them out of the way. I don't want to deconstruct the pipes behind them. All right, let's just, that should be enough. I just need enough to get the power transformer built. And I do need to build the bigger transformer because we got a lot of wiring here. All right, we're relatively stable on the food on this side. Got a lot of food growing down here. There's no point in disinfecting this. This thing is in terrible condition. We're certainly not gonna fix that by spraying some disinfectant on it. That's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and build that. Get that wired in. Get the conductive wire connected here, and then I think we can go ahead and get these insulated tiles built. And I think we should be in a pretty good spot to make the cut over here to a proper gas generator. Get that oxygen in there. All right, right now, I think I want this, well, I don't have any vents built currently, but I think I do want to at least get one vent going and maybe get some of the stuff vented out of there. All right, so I think we're in a pretty good spot to put the cut in for today. We really didn't do much of anything again. We just kind of refined the systems. We got this all kind of sorted out here. Little glitches with these breaking open, but overall, I think we're in a pretty good spot. This is all just steam, so we really don't need this gas pump anymore. I guess there's a little bit of hydrogen somewhere. No, there's not. This is all just steam. So I think we can go ahead and well, we'll leave it for now. We'll let it pump out some of this steam and let it solidify outside here, or I should say liquefy outside there. But yeah, overall, I think we're in a pretty good spot. We got this pretty much built out more or less, which means that next episode we should be able to finish wiring the base with gas pipes and get that up and running. Let's get some Dracos going over here. Why not? Yeah, and then in a small amount of cycles, like 6 cycles, this should be going. So hopefully we'll be able to pretty rapidly get this all figured out before that happens. But yeah, we should be in a pretty good spot to take care of that and get that going, and everything should be up and running here as well. So our power needs have just been, this all started out just needing some additional power. So I think we're past that at this point. Our power needs have been perfectly fine. You know, the batteries have dipped down for sure, but we haven't been running out of power on this map anymore. So I guess this is more future-proofing it, just getting to a point where we don't even have to worry about power, and then we could focus on, you know, more important things like making sure we're heading off into space as appropriate. So let's go ahead and actually, before we call it the end of the episode, let's go ahead and get Harold back in his suit, which is super low health, which is not good. And we'll go ahead and change the destination to be the planetoid, and there we go. We got 70 more data banks to work with, and we should be in pretty good order then. I didn't want to leave the episode and forget about him, and then he ends up dying in space. So yeah, we'll put the cut in there. Thank you for watching, And if you like the episode, consider clicking the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, see more content in the future, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.